this connection was a catalyst and not a destination, and this was very much about finding yourself. So let's go ahead and get into your message. I really hope that this message brings you clarity. I believe it will, and I also believe that it's going to be unique in the sense that it is going to activate closure for you here that you have been seeking. So I am picking up on a high priest or a high priestess who is coming out of the underworld. I got that very specifically, and I don't think I've ever channeled that before, okay? And I really got like you under the water, under like a lot of water. And I don't know if maybe you really resonate with Greek mythology and Persephone and that underworld, you know, whole kind of a thread for you, but I just was picking up on all of that a lot. And I do get that this was a very difficult initiation, okay? And y'all have heard me say this before, that, you know, initiations, even though the word sounds totally kick-ass and all spiritually, and it is, but it's also very, very challenging, right? They're not easy to go through. And this was even giving like a bit heavier in the sense that this was like, I was getting like halls of a mentee, which is actually quite different than, say, like gaining access to the Akashic, right? And again, with this high priest or high priestess energy, there's just something very like special and different about you here, and that the information that you are being trusted with, I got that like very specifically as well. So, and usually that does take a very challenging, very emotionally difficult, really kind of pushes you to the edge, you know, to see if you can be trusted, you know, like what are you going to do with these kind of downloads, all right? And again, when we really get pushed to those edges, it really is very character building and defining, isn't it? Like, what are we going to do at our worst, you know? And who do we come out as after being in the underworld? But I'm also getting something else here that, you know, there were times when you were feeling like very alone and very like pushed to the brink on that edge, but you had more protection than what you were aware of. And I mean like very, very high level protection because of what you were going through. So you are being granted some sort of really unique and high level access here, okay? But let's go ahead and activate this closure for you regarding this connection, okay? So there was a connection here. Again, it was a catalyst and not a destination, and this was about finding yourself. However, you just are missing some of that closure here because, again, it's a little bit murky in the sense that you really thought that this connection was a destination, okay? And I'm getting that like one of you walked away, and I'm seeing a crossroads now, and I'm seeing 555, which is a crossroads number, okay? This person, okay, you are struggling with the closure because this person still checks in energetically, even though they avoid physical contact, okay? This person, what you took as really mixed signals was actually internal conflict on their end, and I'm also getting a lot of lack in terms of taking accountability, okay? And so you did a lot of chasing, fixing, just a lot of like back and forth and really kind of being at the mercy of their internal conflict, okay? I'm getting that recently you are hearing a specific song, or maybe it's just something that you're playing for yourself quite a bit because it represents this connection. I feel that Spirit is wanting to communicate that the reason why you're playing this song, even though it may be, singing about things regarding like timing and maybe in another life and those sorts of things, that it's actually more about closure and truth than it is about, some sort of unfinished love or if onlys, right? And I was getting something different about the Judgment card here. That the separation, it was not about punishment, it was about clarity. And there's something about like a few weeks here. Either you're going to receive the clarity that you need, that you're seeking, either through a message, some sort of communication here. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from this person, it could be, from a friend or a family member, somebody that you really trust that means a lot to you. And there's just something specific here that they say, or some advice or some perspective on yourself that they help you to see that gives you clarity. Or this clarity is just going to come through peace. Just peace energetically, emotionally, that comes over the next few weeks, okay? But again, this was really like about a unique kind of self-discovery here, right? Because it was about this self-discovery after being in the underworld, who you've came out to be after being in the underworld. And now like the kind of access that you've been granted, the kind of information that you can be trusted with, okay? A lot of this has to do with your heart. This was about your intuition sharpening as well. This was about again, just new information. I keep getting that, and I'm hearing like halls of Amenti again. So maybe that's something that you want to look into. About some sort of like deep self-trust here as well. Falling in love with who you are on a spiritual level. This is also about your standards rising, okay? So maybe there really is something there about you not seeing yourself clearly. And maybe with you gaining this new access spiritually, getting like promoted spiritually, it'll help you to just see yourself overall more clearly, and your standards will rise naturally. You're not being tested anymore. Your future love will look nothing like your past. I'm hearing that Selena Gomez song where she's like, I needed to lose you to find me. Okay, when you see 1111, it's not like a wish number or even a number that this person was your destination, but more that to acknowledge that this connection did change you, but it was for you. Okay. Yeah, and this was just, again, with their internal conflict and things like that, and with you doing the chasing and the fixing and the overgiving. And I am getting that you recognize this. It's just, again, the closure is going to be activating for you and allow this chapter to really close fully and see how this was about you and where you're going. Because you need your equal, right? Your past love will look nothing like your future love. Wow, I really love that. Amazing. I'm also getting like a lot of like recognition here. So while you and heavily like being recognized in the spirit, you know, and I would really try to feel that with your energy. And the best way to do that is in meditation, you know. You can even ask your guides for a calling card, you know, like if you are kind of struggling to feel with your energy, then you can say, you know, please step into my energy, give me a calling card. And so that's when they'll do things like, you know, the spider webs on your nose and make your nose and your face itchy and different things like that. Even crown chakra tingles, you know, a little energetic tap on the shoulder. They'll just do different things, and that'll just help you to feel them more. And then once you get more comfortable with that, then you can just feel more of the recognition with your energy, or even just, you know, practice your clairaudience, because I am getting that you have that as well. And so just sitting with them, you know, you'll start to feel that recognition, you know, and it really helps, you know, especially when you know that you are meant to be recognized, you know, in more of the earthly realm as well. And that's part of like, you know, starts in the spirit, and then that, you know, ends up energetically making its way and manifesting in our earthly physical realm as well. And so I really am getting something about that. But again, it might be like really fun to just extra connect to your spirit team at this time and kind of feel that while you are in the waiting, although I am getting like very, very soon anyways. So you may even want to take some time to just make sure that you get extra rest and things like that, because I am getting that you are going to need it. And so if you just are feeling like your body wants to rest more, then I really would just, again, I know I say this all the time, but just do what your energy is asking you to. You always be taken care of, and you can just really like be in the flow right now. So yeah, I think that is all that I have for you today, family. Anything else? Okay, I think I'm going to leave this one here for now, y'all, but let me know how this resonates. I really hope that this was helpful and useful, and let me know in the comments. And I just love y'all so much, so grateful for you, always pulling for you, and I will see you in the next one.